Good. So basically, yesterday we said that technical analysis is using past data like chart patterns, volumes, indicators to make trading decisions. Now, basically, market structure is telling you, it's just the market giving you information or data on what to do. The market structure helps you to define the current market condition to know whether to buy or to sell or to stay out of the market, depending on your strategy. So right now, I'm going to give you guys a free strategy. And then before I give you that free strategy, I should show you the types of market structures that we are having, you know. And then since we are having two parties, we are going to have what? The bullish market, and then we are going to have the what? The bearish market. So sometimes you hear people say that what Bitcoin is bearish. When Bitcoin turns bullish, I'm going to make money. And then Bitcoin is what? Bullish, or when Bitcoin turns bearish, I'm going to lose money. Otherwise, but today we are going to look at the bullish market, also known as the uptrend. You can write this down. The bullish market is also known as the uptrend. So what do you do in an uptrend? In an uptrend, you are always looking for what? Buys. Why am I saying that? You should look for buys always, because it's easier to trade in the part of with the trend or in the part of least resistance than what trading in the opposite direction. So we said bulls represent what? Buyers. Let me write this down for you guys. It's equal to what? Buyers. And then buyers are driving price up. So this is one thing. Now, how do we know that this particular thing that we are doing is an uptrend? Now, for you to know that the price is moving in an uptrend, price moves in this kind of formation, in a series of higher high, higher low, in this kind of formation. Hope you guys are seeing what I'm drawing.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
Good. So this part is called, let me just use the pencil too. It's called the high. I'm labeling this part as the high. And then I am labeling this part as let's say low. We are calling this side low. Now, between this zone over here, this particular point where my cursor is, and then this place that I'm calling high, which one is higher? Let's call this place 1. Between 1 and then high, which one is higher?
The one is higher.
One is higher, right? So we are going to call 1 higher high.
Oh, okay.
You get it? So 1, we call it higher high. And then again, if you are to put, let me say, I'm taking this side as 2. Now, between here, let's say this is how I do it. Let's say this low, between 2 and then where I'm calling low, which one is higher? You will find out that what 2 is relatively higher than low. So we call this place higher low, which mostly will represent with what? HL. But for today, we call it higher low. Since we are all now started. Similarly, this also becomes a higher low. This part over here. And then this becomes another higher high. And what would you call this place again? Who's willing to try? Is it a higher low? So beautiful. So for you to know that this is an uptrend market, all that you have to do is that you should see this kind of formation playing out. You see that thing? And then when you notice something like this, now you know that this is an uptrend. Now, another thing that you should know, or another way that you can find out that this is an uptrend, is not always that you are going to see the price moving as textbook perfect as I have drawn it. If it was as easy as it is like this, as I have drawn it, everyone will come here and make money. Now, in an uptrend market, one thing that you should realize is that the value of that asset or the price of that asset would be increasing. So let's say this point is called 0, this point is called 1, this point is called 2, this point is called 3, this point is called is the price. If I'm putting the price over there, I'm calling it 4, 5. So you realize that if I am to draw this higher high, higher low, you see price is moving from 0 all the way to, let's say, 5, or let's even call this side 10. Oh. So we can call this place somewhere like 8. Are you getting it? So in an uptrend market or in a bullish market, you can see that price is what is increasing, is increasing. And then one thing that you should look out for in this market is buys. It's for you to look out for what? An opportunity to buy each and every time. It's an opportunity for you to look out for buys. Now, why am I saying that you should buy? Because it is easier for you to get a buy than to get a sell. And then we'll be looking at the charts very soon, and then we'll be determining some markets. And then similarly, the next market structure that I'm going to open you guys up to is what is the bearish market, which is that's the opposite of this thing that we are having right here. So bearish market, which is for sellers, which is also for okay, so relatively, it's still the same thing over here. For a downtrend, it's just the opposite. Now, this is what a downtrend looks like. Let me use this to make things faster. Now, for the downtrend, this part, we are going to label it as a high because it's the top, right? And this will become a low. Now, let's make another short squeeze again. Now, let's look at this. Relatively, if I'm to pick this zone over here, and then call here, let's say 1. Now, between 1 and then low, which one is lower?
Low.
One is lower.
One is lower.
1 is lower, right? So now we are going to call here a lower low.
Lower high. Okay.
Lower low. And then now let's pick 1 again. Now, if I am to put 1 over here, and then I'm asking you, between 1 and then high, which one is lower?
1.
1. Good. So we are going to call this side what? a lower high.
Okay.
So price will be creating this series over here. This thing, the moment you can understand this, market structure becomes easy for you to work and for you to grab. And then it becomes easy for you to trade. So this is all that the market is like. And then these are the two most important market structures for a beginner. Now, the market structure that I'm going to tell you to avoid is what we call the consolidating or the ranging market. Now, how does that market look like? Now, there is a market in which you can take a screenshot of this for now in case it's not done that, or in case you want to keep this and then look at it very well. Now, there's a market in which when we were learning from the beginning, there was a particular market that I was telling you guys that for you to know that what is a trend, I was telling you guys that a trend is a market that has a direction. Now, a market which does not have a direction is called what? A ranging market. As easy as that. And then there are only two directions in this game. It's either it's moving up or it's going down. That is how the whole system works. You get it? So we are having a particular market again that you do not know whether this thing is going up or it's going down. It moves like this. It looks as if it's oscillating. It's obeying some particular barriers that we don't know. So it's not really showing you a clear direction like I'm going up, or it's not telling you whether I'm going down. This kind of market is called the ranging market. You get it? And then this is the market that people are telling you to avoid. If you're having even the right knowledge, some people also are specialized into trading this kind of market. Some people have learned the Wyckoff schematic, which also help them to attack the consolidating market to a trend. So there are three types of market structures that we'll be looking at. So we are having the uptrend, the downtrend, and then the ranging or the consolidating market. This is it. This is it. So right now we are going to go to the live chat and then identify some of these things. Use those things to identify on our MetaTrader or even our trading views. Let's try trading view today. Every day we use the MT5. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hope you guys can see.
Yes, we can.
Yes, yes.
Let me clear this thing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start with the price action of what? Of gold, which is represented as XAU USD. So this thing that you are seeing right now is the gold spot. You can see it over here clearly, XAU USD. And then this is the name of the symbol. So gold spot against the USD. So can you guys tell me the type of market this is? Who will say? What would you guys say?
It's a trend market.
Come again.
I would say it's a
Trend market.
market.
Come again.
Hello.
Yeah.
I would
Come
say it's a
again.
consolidated market.
You say it's a consolidator. Okay. Another person.
Although it's a trend market.
Trend. For a
Yeah.
trend, you should mention the type of trend. If it's going up or it's going down.
Oh, okay.
I would say this is a low trend.
Okay, so most of the time we don't say low trend, but we usually say a downtrend. Okay, so let's look at something over here. And now before we even start, let's look at the price movements of this whole thing before we even start. So first of all, what are we going to look at? Let's trace the price movements all the way from here. We're at 1830, right? I hope all of you can see. If you trace from this exact point, this is what is happening.
Yes.
Now, first of all, when I start, this is what I do. I outline price, the movements of price. And then we move all the way from here. We're at 1830. If we move straight ahead, we're at 1830. And now we move all the way from 1830 to 1875. And then from 1875, we moved all the way to 1805, right? I hope you guys are seeing it. And from 1805, we moved to 1855 over here. Who doesn't understand what I just did? If you don't understand, please let me know. Or if you're not getting it, let me know. So we all understand it, right? I'm just moving the points from where I am marking to the price so that I just tell you the price. So right now, we cannot really tell whether price is generally moving up or it's going down. So we will call this a consolidating market. A consolidating market, because we can't really tell a range whether it's fully moving up or it's going down. That is why we are going to call this a consolidating market. Now, again, let's look at something like this. What would you call this? This kind of market.
Of course, it's an option market.
This is a bullish market.
This is a bullish
trend.
Good. Now, why is it an uptrend? Let us outline the movements of this market. Now, you can clearly see that from here, it's moving in a series of higher high, higher low. So this is what we can call an uptrend market. And then let's mark something. Let's look at the price, whether the price is moving up or is going down. So we are calling it, at this point, or at the lowest point, we are having 1790. So between 1790 and then the top part, the topmost part is at 1870. Now between 1790 and then 1870, which one is larger?
The 1870.
The 1870. So we have realized that there has been an good 1870. So we realized that there has been an increase in price.
Yes.
So since there is an increase in price, and then that is one of the characteristics of the uptrend market, apart from we noticing the higher high and higher low, an increase in price is also one of the characteristics of the uptrend market. So this is very beautiful. For you to notice this, and it means that you're on the right track. So in an uptrend market, what are we looking out for? You're looking out for buys, the opportunity for you.
Buys.
Good. You guys are following. You are looking for buy. Now, someone will ask me that, why are we only looking for buys? Now, if you are looking at the direction, it is easier for this thing to buy than to sell. You see that the buying phase, or when this thing is moving up, is longer than when it's coming down, right?
Yes.
Look at the way I'm doing it. Now, when it's coming down, it's very short. When it's going up, it's going. So the buying
It's very long.
Yeah, good. The buy means that you are just telling the broker that I want to buy at this particular level. I think that there will be an increase in price at this particular level. So anytime that you press buy, it means that you are expecting the price to increase at that particular point in time. The moment the price does not increase, you are going to be in a loss. You get it? You are going to be in a drawdown. So basically, that is what it is. Now, after this point, I'm going to teach you guys what we call support and resistance. And then I'm going to teach you some areas of value. And then the beginner session, maybe I'll add 1 or 2 things to it. And then the beginner session will be done. But tomorrow, should we have a class, we'll learn what pips are. I forgot to teach that. We'll learn what pips are. So let's look at the downtrend market as well.
Yes, we can have a class tomorrow.
We'll see.
Maybe,
What we are done.
maybe later in the day.
Okay. So let's look at this. What kind of market is this? Is it an uptrend or a downtrend? Let's look at this very well.
It's a downtrend.
It's a downtrend. Okay. Because you are having something like this, right? Okay. This is very fine. This is what we call a downtrend. And then why is it a downtrend? Now this thing moved all the way from, let's say 2,000 USD, and then now we are at, so it means that there has been a decrease in price, 18,000. We are around the 18,000. So it means that there has been a decrease in price of the particular market assets that we are watching. So we are watching the currency pair of what gold against the USD, against the US dollar, and we realize that what the asset has decreased in price or in value. So we are in a downtrend market. This is very beautiful. You guys are understanding the whole thing. You guys are understanding it. And then when we just take this session, just this point, the point that I'm marking out, what would you call it? Would you call it an uptrend or a downtrend?
I would say it's a consolidated trend.
Now, a consolidating market cannot be a trend. But you're right.
Sorry.
But you're right. Okay. You are very right. I like that. So now, one thing is that we are able to identify trends here. Let me just give a few examples. Let's take some pairs, and then we'll look at a few examples from you guys. Okay. So let's take something like this. You see, this time you're not. Okay, let's take something like this. With something like this, is this an uptrend or a downtrend market? Or even a consolidating? What market structure are we viewing over here?
I'll call this an uptrend.
You call it
I can also say it's an uptrend.
Uptrend, yeah.
So we all agree
Yeah,
that's an
uptrend.
uptrend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is it an uptrend?
I would say because it started from a low and ended up at a high.
Started from
And
the
then
low end.
came back low again, went back
Yeah.
high again.
Okay.
Like about
Okay. Above. Okay, above you. So this is an uptrend market. I like that. Let's look at another one, different one. Okay, let's look here. Let's just take this side. What would you say about this side?
are you talking from the end to the
The
other
whole
end
screen
or
that
what?
you are seeing, what are you
The whole
seeing? I think it's an uptrend.
It's an uptrend.
It's an
An
uptrend.
It's an uptrend, right? Oh, the only
Yes,
two
an
people
uptrend.
talking. Let me hear from other people. And the others, do you think is a downtrend? Okay. Now the people that said it's an
This should
uptrend.
be an uptrend.
Okay. Why is it an uptrend? Austin.
Because when you mark from the down where the price became low, the price at that end is lower than where it is right now.
All right. All right. Makes good sense from what I am teaching. Okay. That's good. That's good. So generally we are moving up. And then we can clearly see that this is also giving the formation here. A series of higher high, higher low. Now, one thing is that as I drew it on the textbook perfect, something that I drew, and I showed you the higher high, higher low. Now, one thing is that the market is not always playing out that way. That is one disadvantage of this whole thing. The market is not always playing out as easy as this, but it's still an uptrend. An uptrend will not necessarily follow the same pattern. An uptrend can be doing this. But generally, you can find out that the price is increasing. If here was previously 1, you see that now we are at maybe 2. It's an increase in price. So we call it what? An uptrend. But now, how do we know that we are changing from an uptrend to a downtrend? This is one question that I get a lot of times. I hear people telling me. But before we do that, let's just take a final example. Okay, let's look at this. Well, how would you call this market?
It's an uptrend.
You call this an uptrend. Just the one on your screen, you call it an uptrend.
Eh?
Okay.
Yes, I also call it an uptrend.
Okay, you also call it an uptrend. Who else? Richard Mensah.
A ranging market.
A ranging market. Okay, so now we are having
Yeah.
some differences, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now the people that said uptrend, why are you saying uptrend? Just for this part. Let's take this part. My people that are saying uptrend, why are you saying uptrend? And then Richard Mensah, why are you also saying consolidating market? Everything that you're seeing on your screen.
I'm saying it's an uptrend because there's an increment in the price because it was from down to up and then it came down again and it goes like that, so it's up now and then it came down again.
So what do you call that kind of market? A market that is going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. What do you call that kind of market?
A consolidated market.
So Richard Mensah.
So a consolidating market. So as it has been answered.
You have been answered.
It doesn't show a clear pattern. So
yes. So
okay. It's a concept. We all agree now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Richard Mensah. Someone else has answered your question for you.
Yes.
Okay. So one thing that I can tell you guys is that you need to spend a lot of time because the charts can be confusing at times. You see, and then this is a 4-hour chart. So now one thing that I would like you guys to notice is that look, this thing started consolidating. Someone is telling you that you should stay away from the consolidating market. And then this is 27th January. Do you know how I'm seeing that this is 27th January? It's down here where the arrow, where the cursor is right now. Now you'll be seeing your date. That is why I use the crosshair a lot rather than the cursor. So you can see that from 27th January all the way to March, that's 1st of March, this thing, or 3rd March, this thing was still consolidated. And then we said that with a 4-hour time frame, it takes for one candle to form, it takes 4 hours. So a market can be consolidating for a long period of time. For months, a market can be consolidated. And then for even years, a market can be trending. Now let's go to the daily time frame. This is what GBP USD. Now this is the daily time frame. What is this market called?
This is an uptrend.
This is an uptrend market. And what about this? Oh, mine is having a lot of drawings. I don't want you. What would you call this market? Right here. Archibald.
It's a downtrend.
Hey, so when I was admitting people, yeah, I admitted a lot of females, but I have not heard any female. Okay, so one girl has spoken for the females. So it's a downtrend. And then look at when this thing started. This thing started, that is 20, I'm picking 21st May 2021. And then we are in what? We are in June 2022. So you can see a market can be in a particular direction for as long as a whole year. And so if you are a position trader that we talked about yesterday, that position traders who trade for months, they can be shorting this market. Just sell it. Now the question is that where do I sell in an uptrend and where do I buy in an where do I buy in an uptrend and then where do I sell in a downtrend? Because I'm telling you to sell in a downtrend and then buy in an uptrend. But before we look at that, we'll look at when a trend is changing. How do you identify that this trend is changing? Get it? This particular trend over here that we are watching, I'm going to show you some things that you should take note of, and then you will realize, and all of us will see that this trend is changing. But until we see that, we know that the trend isn't changing. Now let's look at the famous Bitcoin. Oh, let me pick another one. Now, is Bitcoin in an uptrend or a downtrend? Final question. Then we end the session, then you guys join again. Then I teach, then we are done.
It's in a downtrend.
It's in a downtrend. Even with this one, when you go and Google it, you find out. So everyone agrees that Bitcoin is in a downtrend. And then now we are going to learn how or what we need to see for us to confirm that a trend has finally changed. But until then, I'm going to end the session here, save the recording, then we come back again. Then we look at that, and then we look at where to buy and where to sell to help us get the best opportunities on the market. So I'll be ending here. Please do well to join again. Right now, same link, always the same link.